Okay. Um, a lot of my videos are very repetitive, and I don't care to say the same thing many times. Uh, I think what it does to me is a way also to say things that they try to escape from, and also it's a way to kind of it's like a venting process that helps me psychologically, but it's not going to change reality, and I'm aware of that. The reality is I'm a target individual, and again, this is whatever I think, however I'm thinking, is going to be manipulated the way they want it to be. But it's also, I think, is a way to just express. I'm not the most religious person, but I do believe in God, and I think that's what you say. If you continuously say it, at one point it's going to happen. And I've seen a lot of things happening, and I've prayed a lot, and everything I've prayed for has happened. And it helps to be able to vocalize what's happening. And these people want you to identify with the things they do. Now, in a lot of the last videos you've seen, is you see me and then you hear testimonials. A lot of the same testimonials, but you hear the theme about what they say. Manipulation of thoughts that are disturbing, that are disgusting, that are pedophilia centric, that are rewired in these foul ways, right? And you hear that, and you hear the exact same thing. What I'm saying is what they're being saying, and you hear that like a majority of target individuals are being forced to experience things like that. You see that patterns of torture being systematically done to others. You heard my last matter of fact, if you listen to my last video, you listen to me speaking about what they're doing, how they want me to think, and then you go through the testimonies from others, because at this point, not only I want to speak about my testimonials about what's happening to me, but also listen to what's happening around. Like, listen to what's happening from other target individuals, to show the patterns of what they do, to make you understand this is what something they do. Those are, excuse me, those are things they do. This is not just me saying that. Others are saying that. I have no connection with these people talking to about what's happening. Why are they saying the same thing I'm experiencing? It's because what they do is done systematically. Even the way they're being tormented by perps next door, everything has been said. Even the description of how some of the perps are. So you understand that other target individuals are going through a lot of the same things. For those who are not target individual, first of all, I am a target individual. I'm a TI. TIs are subjects in this human experimentation, I would call it, human development of, not even human, technology development using human beings as subjects to continuously develop this technology that's been ongoing for decades. This is obviously run by entities in the Department of Defense, and strong fingerprint of the CIA is obviously involved in this. You're going to hear a lot of that, because we know that the CIA were the first entities working on mind control programs, MK Ultra, trying to find ways. And obviously now it's much bigger than just the CIA, but they are the architectures of this, and they still have strong influence in this. So, but me, when I start getting this very sophisticated technology experience, where it's the V2K on August 19, 2019, when that started, everything since August 19, 2019, which is exactly 4 years ago, the way I was thinking completely changed. Every time I looked at a little kid, I would get stimulations. I would sleep, dream about pedophilia things. It's just nastiness. It was a condition, systematic condition of thinking about children in these sexual ways. And this is something you're going to hear others. And it's disgusting. They just rewire my brain. And with time, now 4 years in, is even more and more ingrained, because they train your brain these ways and they rewire your brain more and more. And you start fading away in regard of remembering who you are. And you change into something else of ways of thinking. Logic is being erased. Memories are being erased. Everything is just literally your body. My body is just, I'm not eating properly. I know my internal organs are not, something's happening there. I know my bones are breaking down. I understand all these things. And of course, I have the perps that do what they've been doing since day one. And so that's the thing that you hear others experiencing. With me, perps, so they, because my brain has gone into another level of illogicalness, because they manipulate your conscious, the ability to think. Your thought process has been poisoned by them, meaning that they implant their ways of thinking to make me think in these ways they do to me, the things they do to me in an irrational way, and to try to rationalize it. One thing they say is like, "Oh, we're just mining." They're not mining. Well, they're manipulating me and see how I react to that and update that. It's like a consistent, like developing. Okay, this is okay. Let's try this. Okay, and then it gets worse and worse and worse. They do these things, where they're just like improving. This is a R&D program where they want to improve these tactics. Okay, this thing doesn't work. Let's try this and this. And it gets, and then at one point it just becomes it's disgusting to say, they improve their disturbing manipulations, and that's why it's getting better and better for them, and for me it's getting worse and worse. But before getting to that, before August 19, 2019, you understand that there was a preparation for that moment, and to prepare that, they had to get all the signature of your brain, and they were mapping your brain in order to, the day comes, they can manipulate you however they want you. They had to know your brain, how your brain functions, to start manipulating you to this level before the day starts, when the obvious manipulation starts. Do you hear that? It's like they try to learn the patterns of your brain, right? And once they have that, they can go through everything. Like, they go through your memories, through everything. They try to like find ways to learn everything about your brain. So the day starts, they can change you. So for me, the day was August 19. Since August 19, everything changed. And so it's funny. I remember, you see the thumbnail. Before then, my employer put me in this program. My first employer. This is an employer that has nothing to. They have no direct connection with the government, but they have very strong indirect connections, because the president is a big influencer in the government, in a sense, because they're big donors. They have ties with the vendors that are direct, like contractors of the government, things like that. So there's connections there, and they put me in that program, and I realized that they were doing things while I was working there. These people are not government entities, but they were trying to like. I remember I was like in a training session with somebody. Right, and they like to say these things because they want to pretend they're doing something else. I was in a training session with somebody who was teaching me how to work this new program, right? And he was, like, as I was learning, how to do this, they try to study your brain in these ways, right? Okay, how does he think these ways and that ways? So then when the day comes, they can start manipulating you better, because they see how your brain process go when you think about how to do things. Right, when you think about, like, so the training, learning how your brain function when you are thinking in this analytical way. So I was learning this new what was it, data thing that is basically like what's the name, I'm forgetting the name of that tool. A data tool that helps you kind of organize data, right? And he was he was a data scientist in our department, and he was a genius in that. So he was training me about this specific tool, and he said something. It's like, oh, it's like, we're mining, It's like, it's just like mining for something. And he said that in a way that just kind of like, okay, what is he saying about mining, right? And looking back, it's probably while my brain is processing, try to mine and figure out how my brain works, right? Or just at least learn how my brain functions. And now what they're saying is what I'm experiencing today, like the peripheral type of torture, is what they've mined and found. No. It's what they manipulate me to experience. And then funny, they said they mined it when I was a kid. They just find it there and they just no. They are manipulating me to experience these things, and even implanting that in my memory as a child. But what they also try to say is like, no, but we mind it in regard, once they have access to your brain, they go through your memories, right? They know everything you've done in your life. They can go through everything. And for me, they're like, oh, but remember what you did as a kid, as a child? The stupid thing I did as a child is like, You know, kids can do stupid things like that. It's like, you see, we mind that. It's like, yeah, you find something that I did when I was a child. Do you know I know what you guys do to children? They torture children. How many testimonials have I pulled up of how they suffocate and torture children? It's like, no, we find what you did as a kid. Yes, I know what I did as a kid. Something to the point, I know what I did to myself when I was a child. I was a child. You torture children. You hurt children. This program tortured children. What I'm experiencing today is what you're making me experience today. And then make me feel like that when I was a child. And then they're like, does it even make sense that, and you see how they want you to be illogical. They want you, an adult in your mid-30s, to say the way you're thinking right now, what we're doing right now, right? We are making you think the way you would think when you were a child. Because we mind this, when you were a child, that's how you were thinking, and we're making you think like when you were a child. Sometimes they go as young as when you were 9 years old. It's like, that's what we're doing. Trash. They look through your memories, try to find what they can use to vilify you. Whatever they can. And for me, it goes back to even the stupid thing I did me in 8th grade, just turned 14 years old, right? And be like, you see what you did there was that? I was like, I was a kid. I did something stupid as a kid. And I look back, I'm like, oh, what was I doing? What was I thinking? I was a kid. What was I thinking? I feel embarrassed. But I understand children can do stupid things like that. I understand. I look at it as a child doing something stupid. I know what they do to children. I know what they force people to think. How they force people to think in these ways. And they try to find other things they can try to use to vilify you, knowing that you know what they do to people. So now when they make me have these pedophilia things, like, no, we're just mining. No, you're manipulating me to experience these ways. Before August 19, 2019, it was a lot of studying your brain, how they can start manipulating you. When did they start? Bam! The manipulation start big time. And they become better and better at manipulating you. Improving the manipulations. Training your brain, condition your brain. Try to make you acceptive of these things. And that's because they have learned how your brain functions and started the manipulation, and then have worked on improving the manipulation even more and more and more. And the manipulations are very pedophilia-centric, just like everybody else. You hear the patterns of what they do to people. They try to change people in these pedophilia ways. This is something they've been doing to others. This is why you hear these trans women talking about, they try to change me, making me think in these pedophilia ways. But I'm not subscribing to it. I'm not identifying with these things because I know it's not me. Of course I know it's not me. And then you hear these bottom feeders next door who are contracted by these entities to try to make you accept this. They are contracted by these entities that have been working on this technology, and their job is to try to gaslight you into accepting these things. A grown-ass man and a woman can be like, no, we're matching to you when you're a kid. These people have kids that are in middle school. And then they try to use the fear of the torture they're going to implement on you, or they're going to castrate you. As if that's validation that what's happening to you is natural. These people are telling you they're going to castrate you. They're in a program that tortures children sexually and women. So you got to understand that you should not subscribe to it. They are not mining you at this point. They are manipulating you. Yes, they can go through all your memories. They can not only go through your memories, they can change all your memories. That's what they've been doing. They've been changing my memory, like giving me sensation in memories in my childhood. Even they started off my memory manipulations, childhood, making me feel the stimulation in my childhood, saying that's how you felt when you were 9 years old, or even 13, 14 years old. You felt that stimulation. You saw a little kid like that, little girl, boom, stimulation. Or you were getting this black little girl, stimulation. That's like that. That was you, remember? Reminding you. No, they can do more than just go through your memories. They have all your memories. That stage is long gone. Now they can manipulate your memories and see where they can manipulate the memories. Now what they're doing is like, where can we change memories to create this psyop, to create this false narrative? I've talked a lot about memory manipulation. They look at, okay, there was a child in that memory, let's change that. Now let's put sensation in that memory. Next thing I know, I'm thinking about that memory. They make me think about that memory, and then boom, I get stimulations. They did this yesterday about somebody else. And then they try to get you to be like, no, what we're doing, we're mining this. You see, we saw this like that. No. You saw a memory, you saw a child there, put stimulation. Here's a memory. Oh my gosh, they present this new version of memories. To people who are not target individuals, who aren't experiencing that, they can go through memories. This technology has the ability to access memories. But not only that, they have the ability to manipulate memories so you experience a new version of memory. They can manipulate things and make it, there's things that you never even experienced. They can make you feel that you experience. They can make you even think that you have done something in the past that you never done, completely from scratch. They don't usually do that for me. That happened maybe once or twice. Usually what happens is they look at an actual memory. Okay, how can we change this memory to have a different version? Oh, there was a child there. Let's give him the sensation we make him experience today. They've done it many times. I've talked. If you go through my videos, if you type in memory, I'll talk. Oh, now they're making me feel like this new version of memory. There was a black little girl walking there. They're making me think that I experienced it this way. And then it's like, no, we just mined this. We were mining this and we find it like that, and we didn't change anything. Of course, it's not true. They have the ability, and they've been having the ability to change memories. And I even bring that from somebody else's testimonial, saying that they can implant information in your brain, make it present it as if it's your memory, and make it feel like it's your memory. That's what they've been doing to me. And they come up, it's like, no, we're just mining. We chose you. We mine you. That's how you felt. And you're supposed to be identifying with this. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah. And they're going to continuously doing that. Now what they do is like, okay, they're going to torture you. They're going to rape you. They're going to do this and that. And then when that happens, it happens, whatever. But in the meantime, target individual, do not identify with these things. Understand what this technology is about. Understand what truly this is about. It's about the ability to rewire somebody and make that person accept these manipulations. The first steps are just trying to learn your brain. Learn how your brain is going to be manipulated. Because the day comes when they start rewiring you and changing you. They're going to go through your brain, how your brain functions. They're going to go through your memories. And then they're going to start prepping for the beginning of your change. For me, that change started on August 19, 2019. From that day, my reactions, my perceptions, my body function, my everything started, my memories started being manipulated. Poop, changed. And it's been ongoing for 4 years. And the people around you are supposed to be, oh my gosh, it's you, we mapped it, and they try to use different language to try to make it seem like they're not manipulating you to be somebody else. And trying to find ways to use these memories that they've manipulated to validate themselves. Because it's obvious that they've been changing you and manipulating you to experiencing things differently. That's why then we found out, oh, actually, this is the things they do. They do the pedophilia type of torture. Somebody literally said that. They force people to experience things in these natures. This is what they say. They slander people in these pedophilia ways. This is what they've been doing. They manipulate the libido these ways. Oh, they manipulate the dreams these ways. Oh, there's people around you who repeat things over and over. Oh, that's part of the CIA torture methods. Oh, guess what? Those entities that are actually developing these things, these people have been having issues with pedophilia. You start putting things together. So to our target individual, understand and learn more as much as you can about how these things work. I need to continuously learn, but you get the concepts. It's like, okay, this is hard. There's few stages before the day of the manipulations begin, like the obvious manipulation. For me, the day was August 19. It's 4 years ago, August 19, 2019. That day, my brain completely changed. It was disgusting. It was disturbing. and they become very, like, it's very aggressively bombarding you with disturbing thoughts and imaginations and stimulations and dreams. It's super overwhelming, but it's like beginning, just kind of pressing in, training your brain to think about kids in this way, training, and then as time goes, things go more subtle. It's more subtle. Things are just like more, and kind of conditioning your brain to train it to be a person that you're not. And you got to understand, as whatever thoughts comes in, do not subscribe to it. They are so deep in your thought that they can make you think that you're actually thinking this way yourself. So to all my target individuals, let's not subscribe to this. Learn as much as you can. These bottom feeders, they contract, are bottom feeders that are nothing but trash, that sold their soul to these pedophilia entities. Well, sorry, those entities that are filled with pedophiles. This intelligence community, and not trying to get you to identify to these things. Now, for me, they keep telling me how I'm going to be tortured and then killed, and now you pay for what you did as a kid, when they are here killing and torturing children and women. Going through their scripts. And I'd rather be tortured and killed and cut in pieces and castrated than be working in programs that does these horrible things to babies, these cowards low life that speak hiding behind some apartment door. So death comes to all of us. If this is how I go up, I'm just thankful. And this is why now I got to start by thanking God that I didn't have to live my life in these cowardly bottom feeder ways. I'd rather starve to death than living comfortably doing what they do.